Hi, and welcome back to WeAreNeo. In today's episode, we're gonna build the concrete foundations for the container so we can put the container on top so it has a slight distance from the ground, because otherwise it would start to rust from the bottom, and it also has a better airflow. And because we are in Costa Rica here and sometimes there are earthquakes, we have to build it safe and earthquake proof. Therefore, we have to dig some deep holes and then build 4 concrete footings, which are 1 meter wide. And for the pillars, I'm gonna use some concrete pipes and fill them with rebar and concrete. And at last, I'm gonna put a metal plate to weld the container on top so it doesn't move. Paul behind me is already digging the holes. That's where the pillar's gonna be. As you can see here, the whole ground is full of roots,
So wie der ganze Boden hier eigentlich.
which I have to pull out by hand. So the first 2 holes are already finished. Now we're gonna dig the last one. So today I'm at the hardware store in Paraíso, which is a small village near Junquial, the closest hardware store. And today I want to order all the materials for the container foundations. I hope they have everything I need. Looks like a pretty new hardware store. Let's see. For the pillars, I want to use those concrete pipes
Rohre verwenden.
and then fill them with concrete and reinforce them with rebar. There are my materials coming. I hope nothing falls off. Ooh, there's another truck coming. Now it's getting tight. The last meters to my property. Here he comes in backwards.
Okay.
They're unloading all the cement and then the concrete pipes. So they just gonna throw the pipes into the earth pile. And that's one way to do it.
Perfecto. So, das sind meine 4 Rohre.
That's how you unload in Costa Rica. But as long as it works. There's my cement. And here the other materials. It's starting to look like a real construction site here. There's an iguana walking up the tree. Hey buddy, what's up? Today we are going to cut the wood. Now Paul is cutting the rebar. It's 18 bars in total. It's gonna be fun. Okay, let's go. And the rest you just break off. Zack. Paul is also wearing the best working clothes.
Safety first.
Today's weekend. Here are all the ready cut materials. In total there are 88 steel bars and 16 wood planks. And all the steel bars I have to bend. The L shape I've already done. For this I have built a small device, which I'm gonna show you now. So here is my small device with 3 metal screws where the reinforced steel bars go in, and then you can bend them with this metal pipe. I've seen this in another YouTube video and it actually works better than I thought. So I'm gonna show you how my device works. You take the rebar and put it in between the screws. And here I've made some markers on specific lengths, so I don't have to measure every time. And then you take a metal pipe. This was a gift from a construction site. And it's really important that the pipe is all the way so it touches the metal screw, because otherwise you will get bent before the screw. And then you just bend it in a 90-degree angle. And then you take the rebar and put it in so it touches this part.
reinsteckst.
And then repeat the same step again. And it's really easy to bend.
Verbiegen. So.
Again. And again.
So.
And the last part, you have to overbend a little bit. And the other side again as well. And in the end, you get this finished piece, which holds the pillar together.
Zusammenhalt.
And this I have to do 16 times again now. What's also important, if you want to try this yourself, that the screw head has a little distance to the wood, so the metal pipe can fit in between.
Dazwischen passt bis zum Anschlag.
Maybe it's even better that the first screw doesn't have a head. I like the idea because then the steel bar has more grip. And then I put those markers, so you just have to put in the rebar. But you have to keep in mind that if you measure from here, you have to make it 2 centimeters longer, because that's how big the bend is. Because in the beginning I made a mistake here and measured wrong. That's why I put a small piece here. But that's the good thing if you make everything out of wood, because then you can just add small pieces, which makes the device very flexible. That's how it looks finished. It was easier than I thought. It only took me 1 hour to bend everything. And since I have never done this before, I'm actually kind of proud. I also don't have any waste. Everything worked out as planned. Now I just have to put everything together. I screwed together the wood planks to a box for the foot,
Fuß von der Betonsäule.
which I'm gonna fill with concrete. Now I'm gonna cut the rest of the wood to measure the middle of the pillars. Safety first, of course. So this is how my final construction looks. I put a small wood plank in the middle where I put the rebar.
Rebar-Stab rein.
So I know exactly where the middle of the pillar is gonna be. This is gonna help me for the measurements later. I underestimated the volume of my car a little bit. It just barely fits. Probably have to drive with the open trunk. Well.
So that's it with this episode, because otherwise the video would have been too long. But before I come to the end, I want to thank you, my first donors from last week, which was Dave, Julie, and Artem. Thank you very much for your donation. Helps me a lot and motivates me to continue. And if you also want to support me, I have a PayPal account, a donations account, and also a Patreon page. You can follow me. The links are in the description. And in my next episode, I will continue with measuring the foundations and pouring the concrete. And in the meantime, you can watch the last episode where I was talking about the costs. And until then, have fun. Peace.